Welcome to Wanderpaws Down Under. I'm Dan,
I'm Anita.
and together we're travelling around Australia with our dog Wally, our cat Paprika, our off-road caravan, and our trusty Toyota Hilux.
And we're here to bring you some pet travelling tips on the road. And today's episode is literally a road trip, but
Another one.
Yeah. Well, I guess the whole entire trip is a road trip, right?
True.
But we're going to be going from Rockhampton to Yeppoon.
Rockhampton to Yeppoon, Hervey Bay, or Hervey Bay, depending on how you want to pronounce it, including the sublime Keppel Island.
Yes.
Wow, this is a place that we just couldn't resist and we had to go
Absolutely.
back. So we're going to be covering the pet-friendly and not so pet-friendly locations in and around these fantastic areas, where to stay, where to visit, where to generally have a blast in, and all the action-packed little bits in between.
And we did find some really amazing little campgrounds, didn't we?
We did. So remember to hit that subscribe button, give us a like, give us a comment, support us. We'd love to hear your feedback and connect with each and every one of you. Shall we get into it?
Let's do it.
All right. So the first place we'll cover is the Lake Mary Campground. Now this one is situated really conveniently halfway between Rockhampton and Yeppoon, and it means you don't have to stay in a suburban or city area, and it is just an absolutely sublime nature spot right by the creek.
And it's free and pet friendly. So there's no crocodiles here. You don't have to worry
Always
anymore.
a bonus.
You don't have to worry anymore at this part. There's no crocodiles in this beautiful location. And to be honest, we probably thought we were just going to stay there for a couple of nights. I think we rocked up on like a public holiday and we were like,
Yep.
there was quite a few people there. And we're like, oh, I probably won't stay for too long. And then we just kept extending the stay because it was such a beautiful sort of scene. You would have this water running down the river, well, lake, river?
Creek.
The creek. And then you would see in the evenings and the mornings, wallabies running around. And it was just really, really beautiful.
Yeah, and the water's actually really, really warm. So if you do want to go for a dip, I mean, if you're into the grassy bottom
It's a bit
creek
muddy, wasn't
vibes,
it?
yeah, it was a bit muddy. But to be honest, any piece of water that's crocodile free in this part of the world is, that definitely okay for Wally, and it was okay for us as well. But unfortunately, because it is a bit of a floodplain in that area, it can get a little bit boggy, particularly if there's after rain. So
Yes.
if your rig can handle it, fantastic. Two-wheel drives, we saw two-wheel drives on there,
Yeah.
no problem. But Wally decided to find the one or two mud puddles
Of course he
around,
did.
and he dove straight in there.
Because that's his favourite thing to do is get dirty. So, and when you're living in a caravan, that's always a fun experiment to have to work with.
Absolutely, but don't let that stop you from staying there.
No.
It is absolutely a fantastic area. You have to be fully self-contained and self-sufficient because there are no toilets and there's not even any firewood around. So BYO everything. But
Yeah.
once you're there, definitely is our highlight of the stay in the area.
Absolutely.
So onwards to Rockhampton. Now for us, Rockhampton was just more so an opportunity to stock up on essentials. There's
Yeah.
heaps of proper shops there. There's a pet shop. There's even a pet groomer, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And, although we didn't stay in town itself, there are some really, really beautiful walks in and around town, particularly along the Fitzroy River.
Yeah, look, Rockhampton was different. I didn't expect it to be such like an old sort of town. Like
Yep.
the buildings were quite old and very pretty. A bit undesirable people around. A little bit rough around the edges,
Yeah.
but to be honest, it's very, very beautiful. Like it's actually very, very pretty.
Absolutely. You
Yeah.
can also take your doggo to Kershaw Gardens. It's a nice dog-friendly off-leash park. There's play equipment. I think there's even a little stream running through it, although do be careful of the crocodiles, as usual in this part of the world. But definitely worthwhile stocking up on and checking out on your travels. Now, no visit to this part of the world would be complete without a visit to Keppel Island, or specifically the Great Keppel Island. So we initially thought we would just do one little day trip there,
Yeah.
and we decided to spoil ourselves a little bit and take a yacht day trip. So we actually dropped Wally off at the Capricorn Coast Kennels. So it's really, really close to the marina. It's only about a 10-minute drive from the Yeppoon marina. And we found it to be a fantastic facility.
Yeah.
We don't generally use kennels if we can avoid it, so we try and find pet sitters. But in this case, we had no regrets whatsoever. We
Yeah.
dropped him off at 7:30 a.m., which was perfect because we had to get on the boat at 8. And then off we went and had one of the best days of our trip thus far.
Yeah, and I remember that the kennel was really cheap as well. Like it was a relatively, cost-effective way of handling, dog sitting. So for us, it worked out really well.
Definitely.
And yes, Great Keppel Island was everything we thought it would be. The water, for a start, is just this beautiful colour of blue, and you know, it's still part of that Capricorn Coast and close to the Barrier Reef. So you've still got absolutely beautiful fish and marine life within the water. The sand and the beaches is sparkling white.
Yep. I actually found
gorgeous.
the corals. So if you do this day boat trip, then you do go to about 3 different places
Yeah,
in
just
and
for
around Great
snorkeling,
Keppel
yeah.
Island, and they're places that you can't actually access if you go
Yes.
from shore. So that is a really unique selling
It's
point.
nice. Yeah.
And being the southern part of the Barrier Reef, the water's not as warm as the northern parts. So we actually found that a lot of the corals were not bleached, and there was this massive
was more
abundance,
colour, yeah.
of colour and also fishes. And we did go swimming under this kind of pontoon research thing, and there was plenty of sharks there too.
Yeah, little sharks, all different kinds of sharks actually, but none of the ones that wanted to eat us, thankfully.
Yeah. And being on a yacht obviously is just absolutely
Oh, it was
sublime.
great.
Kicking back with a couple of beers, having a good
Few
chat to the other
Queenslanders.
folk. Yeah, definitely no shortage
So
of
it was-
Queenslanders.
Yeah, it was great actually. And you know what? We didn't do it once, we did it twice. We went back to Keppel Island
We couldn't
on
resist.
the ferry. And the cool thing about the ferry is you can actually take your dog on the ferry. Is that
You
right?
can, you can. Yeah, so Great Keppel Island is actually dog friendly. They do need to be on a leash if you're going between 8 a.m.
Yeah.
and 4 p.m. Otherwise, yeah, you can bring them on there.
But you can't go to every part of the island's beaches. So I think that's why we were kind of like, oh, we want to have the freedom to go onto the other parts of the island
Yep.
and spend some time on different beaches. But
It is also a little
Still,
bit,
yeah.
it's a bit tricky there because there's no transport as such.
Yeah.
You have to walk everywhere, and the distances can be quite
and
substantial.
it's very hot.
Yeah, and because it's hot, we just thought, and also because we wanted to snorkel in peace, because Wally does not
Oh,
allow
that's actually what it was.
either of
now I
us to
think about
snorkel
it.
in peace. He
I
wants to
think
be
you
part of the
might
action.
remember- You might remember some of our videos from the Gibb River Road, where when anyone was swimming in the water, you just hear Wally barking
Wally.
because he couldn't handle it. Yeah. He couldn't handle it, so he would always be the lifesaver. So unfortunately for us, it's not ever easy taking Wally to the beach if we want to go snorkeling. He doesn't
No.
like it.
Yeah, and Paprika was back at the caravan. We left the fan on for him, and he was in the shade, so he was
Yeah,
nice
he
and
was
safe.
fine, yeah.
But yeah, definitely, like particularly if you're budget constrained, or if you just want to take a little bit easier, jump on that public ferry.
Yeah.
It's not too expensive, at least from the Yeppoon Marina, and it'll get you there in probably about an hour.
Yeah.
You basically come off straight onto Fisherman's Beach, and from there you can either walk to the cafe or the pub, if that's
Or
the
the
way that you're
snorkeling
inclined,
hire.
or you go to the snorkeling
Scuba
hut.
diver.
Yep, grab your gear, and then we ended up walking to Shelving Beach. So it was about a 45-minute walk through a forest and some hills. Really nice walk. But once you get there, you get to this beautiful, unspoilt stretch of beach.
Yeah, it's stunning.
Yeah, it's about a 100-meter swim out to the coral reef.
And you know what? At the time, we didn't think much of that because it was like we're super good swimmers, like we're loving life, and then we kind of realized at one point how far away from the shore we were, and we're like, if something wanted to eat us right now, we would not be able to get back to shore quickly.
Yep.
And also, just keep in mind that you are swimming quite a huge distance, and if you're going to be snorkeling, going and diving, and whatever you're doing, by the time you might want to go back to shore, you could be tired. So the swim back for us was pretty exhausting.
Yep.
But to be honest, we spent the whole day out there. We're like, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I got sunburnt to prove it.
Yeah. And make sure 100% that you take flippers on these
And-
expeditions, because the
yes.
currents are quite strong, and although Shelving Beach is located within like a half moon cove, you can
Yeah,
sort of
the
get out
tide's
there
high.
and then you just use the tide to drift your way down. But yeah, do remember you do have to swim back, so don't get a cramp,
Yes,
and
yes.
and watch the sharkies as well, because
So many,
yeah, there's a lot of marine life.
so many beautiful fish, didn't we see? So
Absolutely.
many things. To be honest, compared to even our Barrier Reef trip, like I think around the Keppel Island area, we saw the most beautiful, other than the Ningaloo Reef.
Yep, definitely. There was
Definitely.
eels, there was sharks, there
Yeah.
was rays, there was huge
Lots
amount of fish,
rays, yeah.
lobsters, although
Oh, yeah, like the big ones, the blue ones, and
Yeah.
it was actually very beautiful.
Yep. As you can see, we pretty much had the best day ever.
Yeah.
So we did pick Wally up at the end of the day. He was happy as Larry, pretty exhausted. I think we were all quite pooped. And then we went back to Lake Mary Campground and just had a great old time relaxing
We
with the
pretty much
sunset.
just spent all the time at Mary Campground just doing a bit of yoga,
Yeah.
having a few wines, just cooking, and it was just, the sunsets there were absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
And just, it was really peaceful because there was no one around.
Definitely some of the best times of Queensland thus far. So we decided to move further south because we had a bit of an expedition booked on Gari Island, aka Fraser Island. And in doing so, we decided to stop by for one night in Bundaberg, we'd heard there's this famous distillery there. There's a famous brand of
never
rum.
heard of that before.
What's it called again?
The Bundy.
Yeah,
Bundy.
Bundaberg rum. Now look, Bundaberg itself, there's not that much to see and do there, in our opinion. It is a bit of a historic town, so it was nice to have a little walk around. But yeah, kind of like Rockhampton, probably a little bit rough around the edges.
Yeah, and look, it's nothing wrong with the place. It's just when you've been out in nature all the time, you know, the towns themselves are a little less exciting. So we were ready to get back out to nature.
Yep. But before that, we had to sleep a night, and we ended up staying at the Hinkler Lions Park, which was just out of town. I guess pluses, close to a lot of shops, and
it was close
to the highway.
Yeah.
Minuses,
really rough around the edges.
Really rough.
There was some real undesirables in that place. Like, we actually were reading the wiki camps, weren't we?
Yeah.
About this particular car, and like people had written the number plate down saying that there's this weird guy that kind of looks into people's caravans, and he was there when we were there.
He was.
So there is a few. Yeah, if you're traveling alone. Some of the girls, from what we've been told, it's a little bit dodgy, and we definitely experienced the dodginess ourselves.
Yep.
But you know, at the
It's
same
free.
time, people need to live somewhere. People need to, you know, travel, and unfortunately, some of the places are going to be okay, and some of them are going to be a little bit rough.
Yep.
We were lucky we were together. I
Yep.
think.
That
Look out
being-
for each other.
Yeah, well, that being said, some additional plus are there are
There were
working toilets there. There's barbecues, there's a playground if you've
Yeah.
got kiddies, and there's some massive oval spaces just behind
You can
this
take the
campground.
doggos.
Yeah, so you can take
Yeah.
the doggo for a walk. But look, you know, if you're doing these sort of trips, you'll understand that not
Yeah.
every place can be amazing and stay on the
No.
beach. So
And it was location.
Exactly.
It was a great spot.
Did you mention
Right
location?
next to, location.
Next up, we arrived in Hervey Bay. I still don't know if it's Hervey Bay or Hervey
Hervey
Bay.
Bay? Yeah, Hervey Bay.
Anyway, so Hervey Bay is a really famous destination in Queensland. Very, very popular holiday area, catering to all shapes and sizes. Hello, Paprika. He's come along for the ride. And we decided to also do a free stay there, and we stayed at the visitor centre.
Yeah. And you're allowed to stay there for 72 hours or
I think so, 48 or 72.
48, maybe
yeah.
40. Yeah, 48, I think.
Maybe 42.
Maybe. Oh, yeah. Maybe something. I don't know. Either way, I loved Hervey Bay in terms of it's just a beautiful place. Like, the beaches are gorgeous. The tide goes out, so you can walk really far out in the sort of like the evenings and the mornings.
Yep.
But when the tide is in, there's plenty of places to swim.
Yeah, there's dozens of
beautiful.
kilometres of coastline where you
Yeah.
can take your doggo. There's a
Stunning.
really nice walk all along
Yeah.
the coastline.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of off-leash dog areas as well.
And dog beaches, so that's fun.
Yeah, obviously being quite a large developed area, there's plenty of shops, and it was time for Wally to get a haircut.
Oh, yes.
Because he was starting to look pretty sheepish by that stage.
And we go to Petstock here in Essendon, where we're kind of in this area in Victoria, and we've never had any problems. But unfortunately, we got a phone call halfway between Wally's groom saying that he was ready to be picked up.
Ready picked up, and
I was
normally
thinking, that
Wally
was really quick.
Yeah, because normally Wally takes about 2.5 to 3 hours to get groomed. We got that phone call about an hour and a half in, so we're like, wow, these guys must be amazing.
So when we picked him up, he literally just looked like an absolute mess. He was like a lion mixed with, I don't know what.
Yeah.
He was just weird. Like, they had just somewhere in the middle of his groom just decided no longer to groom him.
Yep. Well, to be fair, the groomer
Yeah.
did get a little bit sick, and
Yeah, so
and they did have to go home
To be
early.
honest, yeah, I was a bit annoyed about it at the time, but then I was thinking, you know what, if you're feeling sick in the middle of grooming, what can you do? But we got the dog home, and he looked like a mess. You'll see from the photos.
Made for some good footage.
But then we were a little bit annoyed because we needed to go to Gari in the next day, and they were like, you know, we can't actually get you back in until another few days. So we were really annoyed. And we put a little bit of pressure, and they ended up putting us in for the next day so that we could get to Gari a day later than what we had estimated. So we had a bit of a mixed opinion about the place because it was a bit of a weird experience. Never had that happen to us before.
Definitely. Well, look, crisis was resolved. Wally was fine. The grooming was finalised. He looked schmick as.
It looked fine.
And basically off we went exploring more of Hervey Bay. So another place that we can definitely recommend is the Urangan Pier.
Yes.
That one is a historic 868 metre long pier that goes right into the ocean area, and it is just fantastic for a beautiful walk.
Yeah.
Make sure you slip, slop, slap, because you are very exposed. Dogs are allowed, but they got to be on leash. But yeah, probably another one. Uranga Boat Harbour. That was a cool little one to drive onto.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. Can look at all the yachts that you can't afford.
Yeah. And there's nice little harbours with restaurants and stuff around as well. It's a very, very nice place.
Yep. I should have mentioned before, with the visitor centre, there are only a few spots, so you must book in advance. It is free, and you must be self-sufficient. So they are
known.
You
can only book, I think, on the day, right?
That's right.
You pull them up on the same day.
So it is a little bit of stuffing around. That being said, there's plenty of caravan parks in and around the area.
Yeah.
They're not very cheap.
Not cheap at all.
Yeah, and there's not really any nature stays. So good luck.
Good luck.
So next up, we're going to be travelling to Gari, aka Fraser Island. Now, this is going to be a trip within a trip itself. Probably not going to be so pet friendly because you're not allowed to bring the doggo or the catto on, but we're still going to tell you all about how we had an absolute ball.
Yeah, and there's plenty of doggos on the island itself. Or dingoes.
Yes. Oh yeah, I forgot it's known for its dingoes. Yeah. Stay tuned, guys. Thanks for watching another episode of Wander Paws. We hope you've enjoyed the episode and got some value out of it. Let us know what you thought in the comments. We'd love to hear your feedback. Remember to hit that subscribe button.
And goodbye for now.
Till next time, bye for now.